Good afternoon, class. I'm going to be posting short videos that explain some terms in the lecture notes. First of all, I have to say the class is super simple. It's a very simple class. It's what you do every day. You can actually have your A. You can easily have your A in this class. But you have to work. You have to study the materials and you have to watch the short videos I will be posting. Today, I'm going to talk about the definition of economics. A lot of economists actually define the economics. A lot of economists actually define what is meant by economics. One of the definition of economics is that method of production. Yes, economics is method of production, but there's a widely acceptable definition of economics that talk about all aspects of economics. And this definition is given by Leonard Robin, 1932. He defined economics as a social science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. The definition is super simple, right? But it encompasses, it has everything that you need in economics. So I'm going to be breaking down each aspect of the definition and explain them one after the other. First, I'm going to talk about economics as a social science. Economics as a social science, because economics is concerned with the activities and affairs of men, how you relate with others to satisfy its basic needs. It's a science because it carry out research, but the research is not in the lab like natural science or like pure science. The society, the human being, whatever we do every day, it is the lab. We are the lab, and the environment, how we relate with each other, is the lab for economics. So it's actually talk about the activities of each individual and the affairs of each individual, how an individual relates with other people in the society to satisfy his own needs. That's all about economics as a social science. Now, again, in the definition, you see there is as a relationship between ends and scarce means. What do we mean by ends? Ends refers to human needs. Human needs, wants, and desire. And we all know that what we need are are a lot, are unlimited, they are uncountable. If I ask a question and that, what do you need? In fact, that is like giving a blank check to someone. So what you need is a lot. You want to buy a house, you have a car, you want to have another one, you have a phone, you have to have a better one. So our wants are unlimited. But most of the time, we just try to satisfy what we actually need. Because if you want to satisfy everything we want, is unlimited. Even what we need to is unlimited. So our needs are unlimited. So in that place, ends means human needs, wants or desire. It's very important you understand the definition. Scarce. Scarce means, this scarce is different from the definition of scarce in the dictionary. Scarce in this place means that something that is not freely available. And all these terms, I explain them more in the lecture slides. So something that is not freely available is called scarce in economics. So means is resources. In economics, means is resources. Means is resources. Anything that we use to produce something else is resources in economics. Anything. You can use your money to produce, you can use building, machinery, anything that is used up to produce something else in economics is called means. So I said scarce means. That shows that the resources is not freely available. The means is our resources, and when we say scarce means, it means that the resources are not or the resource is not freely available. So alternative uses, because the resources are not freely available, you have to prioritize, you have to pick. Resources are limited, meanwhile human wants are unlimited. Then you have to pick what to produce. You have to make a choice. I'm still going back to that word choice. You have to make a choice on what to produce. That is, we have to put resources to its best use because they are scarce, they are not freely available. For example, steel has alternative uses. You can use steel to build cars, to build bridges, to make appliances, to make machineries. The steel you use to build cars, you cannot use that exact steel again to build bridges. You see, so you have to use it that it will give you the best and efficient way of using that particular resources. So you have to put the resources in its best use. That is what we said. We have to put the resources in its best uses. Then I'm going back to this definition. Now, when you go back to the definition now, you see that Leonard Robbins defined economics as a social science which study human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. I'll be able to explain what do you mean by social science which study human behavior as a relationship between ends, which are human needs, and scarce means, which is scarce resources that are very, very limited. And our needs are unlimited. And the scarce means, that is, our scarce resources have alternative uses, and we have to put it in its best use. That is the definition of economics. Because we have to put the resources in its best use, we have to make a choice. So, and the basis of economics is making choices. Making choices is the most important aspect of economics. So, everything we're going to discuss in this class is we'll be talking about choices. Who is making the choices? What are the choices that are being made? Thank you.